These are the top 10 makeup mistakes that you need to avoid. I'm going to show you the right and wrong way of doing makeup, and this will actually change the way you look. Proper skin prep will actually make your makeup last longer. And the biggest mistake I see is that people are not using a good moisturizer. You need to use a moisturizer that is actually suitable to your skin type, and I'm going to give you a few recommendations. If you've got oily or combination skin, I would suggest using the Laneige Water Bank Moisturizer. It's in a gel consistency, so it's not going to be very heavy or sticky on oily to combination skin types. The other moisturizer for dry skin types, I would suggest the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Cream. This one has got hyaluronic acid and peptides in it. Now, why I'm recommending it's because it's suitable for all skin types, mainly dry, oily, and combination. Now, once you've applied your moisturizer based on your skin type, I want you to let it absorb for some time before starting on with your makeup. Now, when it comes to applying foundation, if you're going to choose the incorrect color, your whole makeup look is not going to look good at all. It will change the very look of your face from the start on, so you're not going to have the flawless finish, or you're not going to have a foundation that's going to look like your skin. Now, depending on the skin color, it's going to change the way you match a foundation. I normally match mine to my neck because my neck is a bit deeper than my face, but it is also possible that your face could be deeper than your neck. So how do we match a foundation properly? What I like to do as a rule of thumb is that if my face is lighter than my neck, I match it to my neck, and if my neck is lighter than my face, I like to match my face to my neck. So in this instant, especially in summer, my neck gets deeper than my face. I use the Shiseido Radiant Lifting Foundation, and the shade I use is 360 Citrine. I'm just gonna blend that out, and I like to dab it because this will give me more coverage. So you can already see the difference between this side of the face where it's looking a bit too muddy and too overly bronzed. Whatever's on the brush, I like to bring that down onto the neck and just blend that out. Do not forget the jawline because you don't want the line to be between your face and your neck. We hate when our concealer creases underneath the eyes, and that has been the biggest problem ever. But an even bigger problem is when you've got darkness underneath the eyes and you apply concealer and they turn gray. To counteract that, we need to use a corrector, but using the right shade of the color corrector is also important. If you go in with a shade that is too dark compared to what your skin tone needs, it's going to look strange, and I'm going to show you how. Just reduce the lighting on this part of the video because this side has got more of an orangey undertone, and I want you to see the actual change. So you can see how it is already too orange for my skin tone. This side looks very heavy and it's bound to a lot of creasing, and it doesn't even suit my skin tone. Instead, I'm going to use a shade that is similar to my skin tone because I want to get rid of the purple color and I want to bring back it to my skin tone. And now that I've blended the color corrector out that is close to my skin tone, it has got rid of the darkness and it has evened out the skin tone as well. We all hate when the concealer goes into these lines, but lines on a face are so natural. To counteract that, I'm just going to show you how to achieve a flawless under eye. First up, you need to know that there are two different formulations of a concealer. One can be a cream and one is a liquid. A cream like concealer is going to give you a lot more coverage. Now, this can be slightly heavier on the skin if you don't use the right amount, and a lesser amount is the way to go. Instead, I would like you to take a liquid concealer, apply some on the back of your hand, and then I want you to use a brush, tap into your concealer and just apply it where you feel there is darkness. Avoid the lines on all circumstances. And with whatever concealer is remaining on the brush, I want you to go upwards close to the lower lash line. So in this way, you're not applying any additional product. It's not going to make your eye look heavy and it's not going to be prone to creasing. I always see this as a common issue, but you need to wash your makeup tools to have a flawless makeup base. If I were to use this foundation brush on my existing foundation, first of all, it's not going to be sanitary at all, and it's also going to deposit the previous foundation, if there is any, onto my face. This will not only make my face more prone to any breakouts or any skin infections, but you're not going to have a flawless base that you want if you do not clean your makeup tools pretty regularly. We need to set our makeup with a setting powder, but when it is done is also important. If you're going to apply immediately after applying your makeup, you're not going to let the base mix into your skin and melt into your skin, especially underneath the eyes. It's just going to get all cakey, and this is just my opinion. This is what has not been working on me. Instead, what I do is after I've applied my under eye concealer, corrector, and my foundation, I let the makeup sit for a while, say about 2 to 5 minutes. This will help the makeup melt into my skin, and that's when I go and apply a setting powder. This means that there are no creases, the makeup has got a chance to move around, and it doesn't look too heavy either. Where you place your contour is also very important. If you make this face while applying your contour and then you release it, contour is going to go lower than what it should. It's going to drastically affect the way your makeup is going to look, and it could potentially add shadows where you don't need it, and it's not going to be flattering. Instead, I want you to place your finger underneath your cheekbone just there and apply the contour much higher. And for blending, I don't want you to blend it downwards. I want you to blend upwards. Just dab it in place. But in this way, when you turn around, you're going to get a proper shadow. It's not going to look too droopy. This side is going down while this side is going up. We all love a good blush, but the way we apply it is also important. You could be using a very big brush for your blush and applying it all over the face, and I'm going to show you what that will do. So I've got the blush on my brush. I'm just going to apply it, and you can see how this has gone into my under eyes, over my contour, and it's just gone on top of my temples as well. That is not how we want our makeup to look. I like to go in with my ColourPop F26 brush, and you can see it has got an angle. And so when I apply it onto my brush, it's going to give me a very precise application, and it's also going to give it a more chiseled look. I want you to take your brush, tap out the excess of your blush onto your hand so that we don't get too much deposit of the product. And now I want you to place it just above the contour going upwards. This is going to give you a nice lifted look, and you can see how beautifully it's depositing the blush as well. We don't have excess product at all. We all want our face to look nice and glowy, and that's why we use a highlighter. A highlighter does not need to be so prominent. It just needs to reflect the light of your face. But choosing the right shade of highlighter is also important. I'm going to go in with a lighter shade than my skin tone. I'm going to apply that on the face. So you can see how it's not really matching my skin tone. It's got more of a white undertone, and it's looking really harsh. Now I'm going to go in with a fan brush and a goldish kind of undertoned highlighter, and I'm just going to apply that on the high points of the cheekbone. You can see how it's given a subtle glow, and when I turn my face, it's not looking harsh at all. When I turn back, it gives a beautiful glow. Another thing that I like to do is I like to go just underneath the brow so that this all looks continuous. And this is how you get a beautiful glowy face. At the end of our makeup, we all need to use a setting spray. A setting spray is supposed to lock in your makeup and not let it move around throughout the day. So if you want a flawless, long-lasting base, you need to use one. Now, if you've got an oily skin or combination kind of skin type, I would suggest the One Size Until Dawn setting spray. This one is sweat-proof, waterproof, and your makeup will not budge. You need to apply this particular one at the end of your makeup. The Professional Super Setter is a great product because it is not alcohol-based, meaning you can apply this in between your makeup steps. The benefit of this one is that it can be used on all skin types, especially for oily and combination skin. The next one I'm going to suggest is if you want a very hydrated and glowy look. This is the setting spray by Charlotte Tilbury. This one is non-alcohol based, and it doesn't leave your makeup looking greasy or sticky. And this is why this video is so important to watch, because this is how you will nail a flawless makeup base.